now, let's move to the functions of money. Firstly, money as a medium of exchange. Whether money cannot be treated like commodities to its trade value, and it is treated to a basic purpose of being a medium of exchange and measure value, where the society uses money to buy and sell goods for its services, and the payment must be both sides and must be equal. Then, money is a unit of account, where money is subject to all rules governing gold, silver, to exchange or payment. Money can also be used for the price amount of zakat. Next, money is to store value, where money can store for wealth, as for example, savings in the bank or by communities. And money can also transform to physical assets, such as buying a properties. Lastly, money as a standard of deferred payment, where money could be used for buy now but pay later. This can also be called as credit.
Sharia rulings on exchange of money. Classification of Sharia rulings. The first one is obligatory, the fardu. The performance is compulsory while the omission is punishable. And the second one is recommended, the sunnat. Its performance is rewarded but the omission is not punishable. The third one is permissible. The performance not rewarded, not punishable. Next, reprehensible. Its performance carries religious disapproval but not punishable. And the last one is forbidden, the haram. Its performance is punishable. Bwfs, a sale of currency in exchange for currency, whether both of the counter values are same or not. For example, the sale of gold in exchange for gold, or the sale of gold exchange for silver. The Sharia permits this type of sale provided that the exchange takes place on the spot, without the difference of either one or both of the counter value, and provided that the counter value are equal when both of the same quantity. The terms are highlighted by the following hadith stated in Sahih Muslim by Ubaidah ibn Samit. If the quantity differs, then sell as you wish provided that the exchange is made hand to hand. The general approach of IFIs indicates that the paper currency being divided into gold and silver. Thus, the Sharia rules of Bwfs are applicable to currency exchange contract. Based on the Sharia advisory, the currency exchange contract can be set under the Bwfs. If that is the case, then one have to see whether the maqasid of Bwfs or the maqasid of its terms and conditions are realized in current currency exchange practice or not. The exchange amount is based on rate decided in the contract. It is not affected by the rate fluctuations. Getting the rate fixed are a way to reduce the risk of disagreement between two parties.
Islamic perspective on market regulation. What is a regulated market? Regulated market is a market over which government bodies, or less commonly industry or labor group, exert a level of oversight and control. Market regulation is often controlled by the government. The majority of financial markets, such as a stock exchange, are regulated. How a regulated market works. Regulation curtails the freedom of market participants or grant them special privileges. Regulation includes rules regarding how goods and services can be marketed, what rights consumers have to demand refund or replacement, safety standards for product, workplaces, food and drugs, mitigation of environmental and social impacts.
Objective of market regulation: first, control crime. Second, control agency problem. And third, promote fairness. Set mutually beneficial standards, prevent excessive risk, and last, ensure liabilities are funded. Next is criteria of market regulation in Islamic perspective. First, the economic freedom. It is an essential and basic principle of the Islamic economic system. Second, implementation of the Sharia rules. Third is role of philanthropic sector. Required to recognize the importance of philanthropic sector in economy. Almost all have expanded to the poor and the needy, healthcare, education, and public utility in addition to place of worship. Next criteria is public versus private interest. Public interest supersedes a private interest. This rule is also governed by the principle of necessity, which implies that the rule is applicable only in the case of conflict. Next is reduction of government and taxation. Taxation in the Islamic system is the right of the state derived from an authority over individuals. Lastly, the shura in decision making deal with the nature of the authority of the Islamic government as a government by delegation.